Greetings, COM704. Hope you're having a good week. It's nice and, it's actually beautiful here. It's a little, I don't know if it's drizzly, but it's sure gray. And we're just having a nice Martin Luther King holiday. At any rate, I just wanted to touch base with you. Sorry I didn't get a video last week to introduce you to the class. My name's Ben Frazier, for those of you that don't know me, but most of you by now do. And it's good to see you here. And actually, I don't see you, but see you online responding and seeing some of your pictures that you put up, which is great. Okay, the main purpose of this class, there's two. One is to let you read beyond the basic core course in research method, some other methodology, some additional methodology writings. And so that is one of the assignments that will be made, so you can have read further and then also have experience in doing that methodology again. We're finding our students coming into the dissertations phase are sometimes not properly prepared with the specific methodology. They have the breadth of the field but not the depth in one area. So this gives you an opportunity to use hopefully the methodology you may be using or want to specialize on, whether it's history or qualitative or quantitative or whatever it is, rhetorical. The second purpose of the class, and I sort of already alluded to it, is that we want you to do and participate in a research project that hopefully you'll get to present at a conference or perhaps even get published at some point in time. And we want you to work in a group, which is also a good experience, an important experience. The other classes you didn't necessarily have to, research classes, this one you do. We want you to work as a group project. That is 2, 3, 4, or 5, something like that. Most of the time it'll be 2, 3, or 4, probably 3, 4, or 5 for most of them. There might be 1 or 2 that are more than that or less than that. Okay, so what are we doing? Last week I said I put out a couple articles, Dr. Brown's article and another article for you to read. There's 2 areas we want you to do research on: celebrity influence and then conversion experience. For those of you who are interested in conversion experience, you need to be reading about conversion, and we need a good in-depth grasp and understanding of that literature. And the same is also true with the conversion experiences, whether it's, with the celebrity influence. Now, I've published in both these areas, or in research actually in both of these areas. I haven't published in the conversion yet. And so I'm very interested in them both, but particularly this time we're adding the conversion because of a project that I have in mind that I want to work on with some students. And 2 or 3 of you already have mentioned you're interested in that, and that's great. If more of you want to, good. I'm open to have a few more work on that area. And if you don't feel pressured at all to do that. I frankly love both areas and think they're both very much worthwhile. This week it's just a reading week on the literature review in one of those 2 areas where you're going to get a better grasp of that area. So there's really, the only thing I put online is for you to begin to interact with your colleagues on some potential research ideas. And I think, so there's a space in the discussion board for you to do that. But it's not necessary. There's no actual participation that you have to do, but I would encourage you to. I think the sooner you can begin to talk about potential research possibilities, the 2 things will happen. One is that you begin to find people you're drawn to that want to do that same kind of research. And then also you're getting a better grasp and a knowledge of the area. I always find out when I have to talk through it or write through it, I think about it better than just if I'm reading and thinking. Next week, we're going to get into the list of 10 articles that you're going to need to review. So you need to have started that last week. If you haven't, you need to catch up this week and begin, because at the end of next week, we're going to have 10 article annotated bibliography on the area that you're interested in, and a couple other assignments that we'll talk about next week. So right now, read, review. Some of you, many of you, are emailing me and saying, hey, I'm interested in this or I'm interested in that. And so I've contacted through email about half of you. feel free to email me. This is a different kind of class. This isn't a class where there's like a lecture and a reading, and then you respond to that, and we go on the next week, and it's just the same thing every week. What this is a project-oriented class. We are working on a project, and there'll be some benchmark areas where we'll stop and say, you need to do this, or you need to turn this in, and I'll have that accountability for you. I imagine after about a third of the class, when we divide you up into groups, I will be meeting individually with each of the groups from time to time as needed and helping you move that along. Sometimes it'll just be an email, other times it'll be actually a collaborate or a Skype talk or something like that, so that I'll be touching bases regularly with each one of the groups. But sometimes you'll go a week or two without touching bases with me, but just with each other and working in a group. So at any rate, that's sort of what we're doing. I look forward to this class. It should be a lot of fun. I'm hopefully we'll get some good publishable material out of here, or presentable material at least. Just heads up for some of you who are thinking of going to Dallas to NCA, the deadline for turning papers in or panels in is, I believe, February, at the end of February, sometime in February or March. So you might want to think about that if you're interested in going to Dallas and presenting. Okay, I'll be back next week. Talk to you. God bless.